Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 6 o'clock, it's 63 degrees in Milwaukee. Tonight's going to be mostly cloudy with rain and up to a half inch of additional rain and a low of 61 degrees. Thursday, morning fog will become mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brenda. Delaying the federal trial of Milwaukee Judge Hannah Dugan.
A federal judge says the court needs more time to review her defense attorney's motion to dismiss the case. Dugan is charged with obstruction for helping an undocumented immigrant evade ICE agents at the Milwaukee County Courthouse in April. Her legal team is claiming judicial immunity. U.S. District Judge Lynn Edelman says no matter how he ultimately rules on the motion to dismiss, the losing side could appeal to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. Dugan's trial was originally set for July 21st. A new trial date has not been set. Jessica Gatso, WTMG News.
And the Food and Drug Administration has approved the world's only twice-a-year shot to prevent HIV. It's made by Gilead Sciences, and it's the first step in what's expected to be a global rollout to prevent millions of infections. The drug is called lenacapavir, and it will be sold under the brand name Yeztugo. According to researchers, the drug nearly eliminated new infections in 2 groundbreaking studies of people at high risk. Ian Haddock of Houston was one of those who took part in the study.
I don't think enough people know the message, and I'm hoping that, people like me and people in the advocacy world, that we can continue to push this message as far as possible so more people across the world can know that this opportunity is available.
And the Wisconsin Department of Health Services fines Milwaukee Public Schools over lead cleanup. The $5,500 fine is for violations of state code during the lead remediation work at 4 schools this spring and summer. They are also fined for repeated noncompliance and failure to follow earlier guidance. DHS said that instead of paying the fee to the state treasurer, MPS should reinvest the money into lead-safe renovations. The district has until June 24th to answer questions about future renovation work. And a new AI test is helping doctors better tailor prostate cancer treatment.
The new test can identify which men will truly benefit from a specific prostate cancer drug and who will do well with standard treatment alone.
Can actually analyze tissue samples with more precision than the human eye.
Dr. Ben Weston from the Medical College of Wisconsin says the test helps pinpoint which tumors are likely to respond to certain treatments and supports more personalized decision-making.
And using AI, using these new tools out there, can help doctors to make decisions sometimes faster, sometimes more efficiently.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Dr. Weston adds the final decision on treatment still resides in the room with a patient and their provider. And Wisconsin legislators encounter heightened security measures at the state capitol building in Madison.
Members of the public attending Wednesday's floor sessions of the Assembly and State Senate encountering bag checks and handheld metal detectors. This as Assembly Speaker Robin Vos acknowledged both parties need to tone down political rhetoric in the wake of the Minnesota attacks.
We owe it to those who elect us to be role models for civil discourse, not mouthpieces for the loudest and the most inflammatory voices.
State Senate Democratic leader Diane Hesselbein reiterates she and her colleagues feel safe within the Capitol walls.
I think we're going to continue to have conversations to make sure that everyone else feels safe as well.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
And there's a local team making sure every second of Summerfest looks flawless.
The music's live at Summerfest, and Mindpool's making sure you see every second. President and owner of Mindpool, Josh Adams.
When the crowds start getting thick and you can't get close to the stage, that's when we really start to provide an opportunity for people to get that kind of up-close and personal experience with the band in an artful way.
From LED walls to live camera feeds, Mindpool handles everything fans see on the big screens.
I've been to dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of festivals around the world, and this is easily the most clean, purpose-built, comfortable festival I've ever been to.
Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, weather, next, outdoor living unlimited. WTMJ News time is 6:05.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Grouper Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers game against the Cubs was canceled tonight due to weather. A doubleheader has been scheduled for August 18th. And former Packers cornerback Jair Alexander signs a one-year, $6 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens. And round one of the NBA draft takes place 1 week from tonight in Brooklyn. The Bucks currently own one selection, number 47 overall. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We got a couple of incidents out there on the road this time. I-43 north, 0.2 miles beyond Kilburn Avenue. Right lane is blocked due because of a crash. And then we have a disabled vehicle on the exit to Kilburn Avenue from I-43 north. Looking a little bit south of us on I-43 94 south at the ramp from Beecher Street. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. And then over on Wisconsin Route 175 south at West Wells Avenue, the right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Other than that, roads are starting to clear up across southeast Wisconsin. All right, taking a look at your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's going to be mostly cloudy with rain. Up to a half inch is expected with a low of 61 degrees. Thursday, we're going to get some morning fog, but that will become mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees. Friday is going to be partly cloudy with a chance of showers and storms, a high of 78 degrees. Saturday is mostly sunny, breezy, hot, and humid, the high of 94, but the heat index says 105. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid again with a high of 96. Heat index is 108 degrees. And Monday, partly cloudy, hot, and humid with a high of 93. Heat index is 105. Right now in Madison, it's currently 66 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 73 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 68. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 63 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:09.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Hello there. How you doing? I know. I didn't expect to be hanging out with you either. That's all right. Thank you so much for tuning in to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. If you're bummed about baseball getting postponed, don't be. We're going to have a good time together. But if you are just finding out that the Brewers-Cubs game has been postponed, it's due to rain, and they're going to reschedule it as a doubleheader on Monday, August 18th. And circle your calendar. That will be a 1:20 for Game 1 and a 7:05, which was already scheduled that day for Game 2. So tonight's game being moved to Monday, August 18th. Maybe the Cubs won't be in first place by then. That's what I'm hoping. And the Brewers will be in a strong lead in first place in August. How about you? Because I'm still riding high. I had a great time at Sunday's game on Father's Day. Just a great time. I got my Barrelman cooler, got to see Barrelman. He came to visit my section because somebody behind me was having a birthday. So anytime I get some up-close personal time with Barrelman at American Family Field on, again, contrast with all the wet weather we're having, Sunday was just beautiful. So we are your home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball here on WTMJ. So we'll bring you baseball hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will hold out tomorrow because the forecast looks a little iffy, but we'll keep you updated on baseball and weather here at WTMJ. So in the meantime, we celebrate summertime creativity tonight. Juneteenth, the holiday is tomorrow to celebrate the emancipation of slaves. And I know that there will be the historic parade in Milwaukee. It's been going on since 1971. That will be happening tomorrow, and a lot of people get the day off as a way to celebrate and honor that evolution in our country. And a fascinating documentary about an escaped slave from St. Louis, Missouri, who caused our Wisconsin community to come together in the 1850s and even be the beginning of the Republican Party. It's a really layered, interesting story, and that story related by filmmaker Michael Jarr. That is coming up. He was my guest. I had a really interesting conversation. He has made a mini documentary. It is 12 minutes long about Joshua Glover, this escaped slave, and it is absolutely fascinating. So in about 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to hear all about it. Summerfest also tomorrow. I have been very excited, maybe even a bit obsessed. At 7 o'clock, the Summerfest Sound Check. It's an hour-long special where we do a deep dive into all of the headliners, all 9 days, plus other band suggestions with two of the people who work for the organization that produces Summerfest every year, Milwaukee World Festivals, Inc., Sarah Pancari, the president and CEO, and Kevin Kennedy, the VP of Sales and Development, sat down with me. We talk about the bands. We talk about must-have food and fashion at the festival, and also brand new experiences like a pickleball court on the north end. And then yesterday, I got a preview of the art installation that is this. It's called Astral Relics of the Great North Woods. And it is this inflatable 30-foot tall, very colorful, very musical experience that is between the Uline stage and the U.S. Cellular stage. I'll be telling you more about it and showing you more about it, but it's going to be a very cool experience. So there's a lot to learn about making the most of your Summerfest with the Summerfest Soundcheck. That'll start at 7 o'clock. It's a really good show. Also, you can listen to it on demand if you want. It is already podcasted at WTMJ.com. I'll also share with you my picks for opening night, which is a big one, including Big Bang Fireworks tomorrow night. And the song you need to hear is a sing-along song by a talented lady headlining tomorrow night on the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard stage. That's your hint. And yes, there are other festivals and events happening this weekend, including Make Music Day on Saturday with a lot of free music events around the city. And so we'll talk about some of those. I'll share some of those entertainment options with you because not everybody wants to go to all 9 days of Summerfest. If you can only make it on one day and it's later in the gig, then no problem. Let's find some entertainment options for you this weekend. And I'd love to know what you're doing. The Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. What are you doing this weekend? What events are you looking forward to? 855-616-1620. The Joshua Glover story. It's fascinating. Next on What's on Tap.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368. After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her Accunet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like 200-count boxes of blue shop towels, just $9.99, and signature licensed automotive accessories 20% off. Rewards members save 25%. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
My Father,
If a slave has taken refuge with you, do not hand him over to their master. Let them live among you wherever they like and in whatever town they choose. Do not oppress them.
That is Dr. Ken Harris, from Good Karma Brands and The Truth 101.7. And reading a Bible quote there at the beginning of a 12-minute documentary titled Liberty at Stake, the Joshua Glover story. And the creator of this documentary, with a mission to tell this history in an even bigger way, is my guest right now. Please welcome filmmaker Michael Jar. Michael, welcome.
Sandy, thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Welcome back to WTMJ. You had a thoroughly interesting episode of WTMJ Conversations with Libby Collins last month.
Yes.
That's where I got to meet you right after that conversation, and you told me this story just in the short time it took to walk up 2 flights of stairs, and I was fascinated. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to know more. So listen to the WTMJ Conversations, but you're now evolving this project into an even bigger project. So that's why I wanted to invite you back, especially this Juneteenth week. Yes. So as we find out more about Joshua Glover, an escaped slave, and his story here in Wisconsin and the catalyst for change that his experience was, first of all, Juneteenth, how do you describe it to people, the holiday, and why we
absolutely
note it?
So we know during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, basically declaring that all the slaves in the Southern Confederacy were freed. However, that didn't mean a whole lot to the slaves that were still under the control of the Confederacy. So the importance of Juneteenth is that on June 19th, 1865, the final word got to the final slaves in Galveston, Texas, telling them that they were free. And so
nearly 3 years later.
Nearly 3 years later.
Wow.
Yeah. So General Gordon Granger comes into town, reads this proclamation, and can you imagine hearing the news that, after you've been praying for this for your entire life, all of a sudden you are truly free. And of course, blacks continue to face a lot of obstacles, particularly in the South after that, but still a monumental moment in our history.
And Milwaukee proudly celebrates Juneteenth, the longest celebration in the country, starting the parade in 1971.
Yeah, there's a great legacy here, and it ties in with some other Milwaukee stories that we'll get to.
And that's exactly why that's your perfect segue into telling us about Liberty at Stake, the Joshua Glover story. What happened to Joshua Glover?
So Joshua Glover was a slave in St. Louis, Missouri. In 1852, he took the very courageous step of deciding, I'm going to seek my liberty. So he crossed the river probably at night during the spring of 1852 and somehow found his way about 400 miles to Racine, Wisconsin. And there he was welcomed by the abolitionist community. He found a place to work at a sawmill, found a job, and lived for 2 years in freedom. But his slave owner never stopped tracking him down. And he found him in Racine. He came up to Milwaukee, went to the courthouse, got a warrant for Joshua Glover's arrest, and put together a posse with a couple of U.S. deputy marshals. They went down to Joshua Glover's house in Racine at night in March of 1854, knocked on the door. When the door was opened, they swept in. They ended up beating Joshua Glover, throwing him in a wagon and bringing him back to Milwaukee, tossing him in a jail cell, and he was headed back to a lifetime of bondage.
This reminds me, it echoes now because the Federal Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 is why this would happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of has some similarities to things that are being talked about in politics now.
Sure.
Where it was such a legislation. It was like, everyone was encouraged. Like, you don't have to be law enforcement. You can be a neighbor and say, oh, no, I know this person's here illegally.
Yeah, right. You were obliged to participate in basically the return of a fugitive slave if you had any knowledge of that.
So then what happened after Joshua Glover gets incarcerated?
So they quickly identified, or they quickly found out in Racine that he had been abducted, and they had a large rally there. But they also sent a telegram up to a man named Sherman Booth, who was a newspaper editor, an abolitionist newspaper editor in Milwaukee. And Sherman Booth gets on a horse and rides literally through the streets of Milwaukee like Paul Revere, calling people to turn out on behalf of this fugitive slave. And he called out, a man's liberty is at stake. Turn out at the courthouse at 2:00. Well, 5,000 people on a cold March day in 1854 dropped what they were doing and showed up at the courthouse.
The very next day?
He was arrested Friday night. And the rally took place Saturday morning.
I mean, just when you talk about how long it took for slaves to find out that they were emancipated.
Yeah.
This spread incredibly fast.
It did. Yeah. They put up flyers, they rang church bells, they did everything they could to get people to turn out on behalf of Joshua Glover. So the event kind of began very formally. They elected a president, they elected committees, they gave speeches, they passed resolutions. They basically were calling for due process for Joshua Glover. But after a few hours, it became clear that the officials had no intention of letting Joshua Glover go. So the crowd kind of changed tactics, and they went to the cathedral, which is, Cathedral Square is now there. The cathedral was being built at the time. So they take a beam from the construction site. They use it to batter down the courthouse door. They rush in and overwhelm the guards. They break open the jail cell. They whisk Joshua Glover out, and there's much rejoicing. They put him on a wagon, and then that carriage basically takes him away to Prairieville, which is today Waukesha. And from there, they hide him in the Underground Railroad for several weeks until they are able to get him on a ship out of Racine Harbor, which takes him to Canada.
What a journey. What an absolute journey. And now the significance of Cathedral Square, just even saying that in the 1850s that it was being built because it's just such a landmark in our city.
Yeah. But people don't know that tie, that connection. It's so sad that this story has been lost.
And there's more to this story that connects with the Republican Party and Ripon. We're going to find out that part of Joshua Glover's story next on What's on Tap with filmmaker Michael Jarr. Next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Rich Lawn's Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were due for service, we delivered, and then you went the extra mile and wrote a few kind words about the service you experienced.
Yeah, thank you so much. Michael, Glenn, Jeff, Lisa, Carol, Jason, John,
Wait,
Michelle,
hang on a second,
Ryan.
Dad. As fun as it may be to name every single person who's ever left us a Google review, there just isn't enough time. We get 60 seconds, and I'd say we've got about 28 left.
Ah, good point, Courtney.
Listen, we appreciate every last one of you for helping us maintain a nearly 5-star Google rating. And we're going to keep on shooting for the stars, especially when it comes to providing top-notch auto repair service.
Yep, and remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. Peter, Bruce, Samantha, Kimberly, Nick, Heather,
Oh,
Marissa,
Dad.
George, Jeremy, Diane, Brad, Paul.
Rich Lawns. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
All shall be free. Children, we all shall be free.
That's the sound you want to hear when Juneteenth is coming, marking the emancipation when all the slaves found out that they were finally free. That is what June 19th is celebrating, and why Milwaukee has had the longest standing Juneteenth parade since 1971. And it will be a great gathering again on Thursday, June 19th, Juneteenth. And my guest in the studio is a fascinating filmmaker who has uncovered an incredible story about Joshua Glover, and his name is Michael Jarr. Michael, thank you so much for sharing the story of Joshua Glover so far.
Sandy, I'm delighted to be here.
You left us with a cliffhanger after the escaped slave from St. Louis, Missouri, makes his way to Racine, winds up, though, getting tracked down because slave owners, they said these people are our property, tracked him down. Glover gets arrested. The entire community, 5,000 people, you said?
5,000 people, black, white, all turned out to make sure that Joshua Glover did not go back to slavery.
Right down in downtown Milwaukee, right in Cathedral Square, taking a beam from cathedral that was being built at that just still blows my mind. So all this happening in 1854?
Correct.
And you have made a mini documentary called Liberty at Stake, the Joshua Glover story. And you have packed so much in to this 12 minutes. It really is fascinating. So you were just telling a story of how 5,000 people got together. What happened with this gathering?
So, the 5,000 people gather after, realizing that the Fugitive Slave Act was not going to allow the officials to basically help or release, Joshua Glover or give him any form of due process. They took matters into their own hands. They battered down the courthouse door, and they rescued Joshua Glover, hide him in the Underground Railroad for several weeks, and then get him on a ship bound to Canada. Glover ends up in the Toronto area. He lives there for the next 40-some years of his life, lives to be 80 years old, and lives the rest of his life in freedom.
Wow. Now, how does Joshua Glover tie into a little white house in Ripon, Wisconsin?
And there's another element that very few people know, but it was literally 9 days after his rescue in Milwaukee that a group of abolitionists got together at the little white schoolhouse in Ripon, which is still there today. You can still visit that. And they basically said, we need a new anti-slavery party in this country. These were Democrats and Whigs and Free Soil Party members. They came together, and one thing unified them, and that was their opposition to the expansion of slavery. They came out of that event calling themselves Republicans, and it was the first gathering of that type where a group called themselves Republicans based on their opposition to slavery.
What a compelling story with so many layers and so many themes that still resonate today in 2025. It's absolutely fascinating.
It is.
So, Michael, you made a 12-minute documentary narrated by Dr. Ken Harris, who you hear here on Good Karma Brands, 101.7 The Truth. But now you have a mission to tell this story in a bigger way. You want to make a feature-length documentary.
We do. We want to tell this story about how, Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president, which led to Southern secession, Civil War, and eventually emancipation, which is how this all ties in together. And so we are working on a full-length documentary. It's called Liberty at Stake, the Joshua Glover story. And it's a nonprofit endeavor, and we're raising money. We've been raising money for a little over a year and a half. And every time we get money in, we go out and we interview the next person. So we'll be going to Ripon on Wednesday, actually, and interviewing a professor emeritus of history from Ripon College who will talk about what took place in the Little White Schoolhouse on that day and kind of tie these things together. So we want to travel to Toronto. We want to travel to St. Louis and really kind of tell the story from beginning to end, completely from Joshua Glover's perspective. So that's what we're doing.
That's fascinating, Michael. And when do you hope, what's the target date to have a full-length Liberty at Stake, the Joshua Glover story documentary finished?
We would love to have something by maybe spring of 2026. It really kind of is dependent on fundraising. And so we've been very blessed, but we need to continue to raise money. And so if people are interested in helping us bring this story to hopefully Netflix and Prime and PBS and so on, you can visit our website at lasfilm.com, so Liberty at Stake, lasfilm.com. We have a Give Butter site as well where you can make donations directly, and we've received donations from as little as $10 up to $50,000 to help us move this along. So if you're interested in hearing this story come to fruition, please take a look at our website. You can watch our mini documentary and get involved.
And you watch this 12 minutes, you will be fascinated. And I also commend you that you have such a variety of voices, bipartisan, history buffs. It's really well told. So I'm very excited, and I look forward to having you back.
Sandy, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. He is filmmaker Michael Jar. You can go back and listen to this podcast. I also highly recommend going back to listen to the WTMJ conversations with Libby Collins from last month. I could talk to you for hours. Next time you're coming back, we're going to take questions as well.
Great. Love it.
Michael Jar, thank you very much and good luck. lasfilm.com. Oh, so much to learn there. And thanks again to Michael for coming in. I was glad to reshare some of that. He came in earlier this week. Just such a powerful story. So check that out and follow along. And I do look forward to having Michael back in. This is an episode of What's on Tap as we are experiencing the postponement of tonight's Brewers and Cubs game, which will now be played as a doubleheader on Monday, August 18th. You are enjoying What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. We'll talk about some of the festivals happening this weekend that aren't Summerfest, but I'll also give you some of my music picks for opening night of Summerfest tomorrow night. Right now, we do go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Sean Brinda.
Thanks, Sandy. A delay in the federal trial of Milwaukee Judge Hannah Dugan. Dugan is charged with obstruction for helping an undocumented immigrant evade ICE agents at the Milwaukee County Courthouse in April. The federal judge first wants to resolve Dugan's motion to dismiss the charges. Her legal team is claiming judicial immunity. Dugan's trial was originally set for July 21st. She's due back in court July 9th for a status conference. And a break in the home of the former Minnesota State Representative shot and killed over the weekend. Brooklyn Park police say the home of Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark was searched by an unknown individual. Family says nothing appears to be missing. Crime scene investigators had already removed evidence related to the Hortman's shooting deaths from the house. And a crash scene ends with a car inside a Walgreens. Police say the driver may have been speeding and consuming alcohol or drugs when they crashed into the storefront on Memorial Drive at 1 a.m. The driver was taken to the hospital. No one else was in the car or in the store. The Walgreens main entrance is boarded up, but its pharmacy drive-thru remains open. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, we got a couple of incidents out on the road. Over at the ramp from Wisconsin 175 south to I-94 east, all lanes are blocked due because of a crash, so be aware of that. Then over on I-43 north, 0.2 miles beyond Kilbourne Avenue, right lane is blocked due to a crash as well. Other than that, roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's going to be mostly cloudy with some rain. Up to a half inch is expected with a low of 61 degrees. Thursday, morning fog is expected. It'll become mostly sunny throughout the rest of the day with a high of 78 degrees. Friday's going to be partly cloudy with a chance of showers and storms with a high of 78 degrees. Saturday, though, mostly sunny, breezy, hot and humid with a heat index of 105 degrees. Sunday, sunny, hot and humid again with a heat index of 108 degrees. And Monday's going to be partly cloudy, hot and humid with a heat index of 105 degrees. Right now in Delafield, it's 67 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 68 degrees. Right here in Milwaukee, it's 63 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:33.
Summer in Milwaukee is non-stop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture. Whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit, experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals. Learn more at visitmilwaukee.org/fest.
CertaPro Painters, the best in the business. WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife and I were shocked at how thoughtful they are, how amazing they are, how they moved things that needed to be moved and got their jobs done fast and efficiently. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Slots are filling up fast. Now's the time for your home or your business. Get on their schedule. They will transform your house. It'll be the best-looking house in the neighborhood. The teams I trust are at CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Two Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new fried bologna sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, John Mercure here. Colders is kicking off summer with a 3-day flash sale. That means 3 days of huge savings on furniture, appliances, and mattresses. You don't want to miss out on this exclusive limited-time sale at Colders. From June 17th to June 19th, stack your discounts store-wide. Save 60% on furniture and mattresses, plus take an extra 10% off. That's 60 off plus 10 off on sofas, sectionals, dining sets, outdoor furniture, mattresses, and more. Don't forget about appliances. Save an extra 5% on appliances. Colders guarantees the best price in kitchen and laundry appliances from all your favorite brands like KitchenAid, Samsung, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and more. I know I've shopped at Colders just recently. Don't miss out on Colders' 3-day flash sale only from June 17th to the 19th. Stop by one of their showrooms in West Dallas, Oak Creek, Delafield, or Grafton. They've got the best showrooms and the best sales staff. Or shop online at Colders.com.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Colders.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
That is the sound of Natasha Bedingfield. She is one of the many performers kicking off Summerfest. Tomorrow night, she'll be on the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard stage at 10 o'clock after the Big Bang fireworks. That is almost every song she has, I feel like you could sing along to. So Natasha Bedingfield tomorrow night at Summerfest, and I will share with you in about 5 or 10 minutes my other picks. I think you should see Natasha Bedingfield. I'll share with you some other picks if you're trying to help decide where to go tomorrow night for opening night. But there are other events going on this weekend in addition to Summerfest, because we love summertime in Wisconsin. What are you doing? I'd love to know your suggestions. Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Let me know what you're looking forward to. Maybe it's just simply a garage sale in your neighborhood, or you've got plans to do something fun. Tell me what it is. 855-616-1620 is the WTMJ Talk and Text line. I can tell you, if you love music, it is the 9th annual Make Music Day Milwaukee this weekend. There are free concerts all around the Milwaukee area on Saturday, all day long. And if you go to makemusicday.org, there's an interactive map, so you can just kind of point and click and go, oh, hey, this is my neighborhood, and this is open to everyone. Anyone can sign up to perform, and everyone is welcome to attend. It really is all-inclusive, Make Music Day Milwaukee. Some of the highlights, Davidson Park they're going to have it right there at 37th and Highland, the old Harley-Davidson building that's now a park. That's going to be from 4 till 8 with Peter Thomas and Protege. The Schlitz Audubon Nature Center is one of the spaces having live music all afternoon. Milwaukee Public Libraries have some music, including the Villard Square branch, and West Dallas City Hall, Centennial Plaza. Carmen Nickerson, who's a wonderful Whammy Award-winning performer. She won Female Vocalist of the Year this year. Carmen Nickerson will be performing tomorrow at West Dallas City Hall's Centennial Plaza. So if free music all day Saturday sounds like a good idea, especially near you, check out that map at makemusicday.org. Another event on Saturday, Art at the Mill in Washington County at Richfield Historical Park on Saturday afternoon. Over 80 artists. There's a silent auction. There's live music there, too, and food catered by the Richfield Lions Club. You can explore historical buildings and grab a craft beer from Belshire Brewing Company. And the other fun part of this is there's free parking and a wagon ride to the exhibit area at Richfield Historical Park. And if you go, you're helping support the educational programs and the park maintenance there. So that is Art at the Mill. If you go to richfieldhistoricalsociety.org, you can get scoop on that. And Pewaukee, you know how much we love Pewaukee Lake and going there, whether it's watching water skiing or just hanging out on the beach. Well, Friday and Saturday, the 14th annual Lake Country Clean Water Festival, held in partnership with the Pewaukee Kiwanis Beach Party, can celebrate clean water and community. It's a free, family-friendly event. There are 2 days, Friday and Saturday. There is live music, all sorts of activities, including a boot camp workout, if that's your thing, paddleboarding, which I know is really popular, and pontoon boat rides. And there will be the water ski show while you learn from local lake experts about lake ecology, because think about how important that fresh water is. And you can learn something new and help protect the lakes that make our community such a special place. That is the Lake Country Clean Water Festival. Go to cleanwaterfestival.com to make your plans for Friday and Saturday. And I also want to tell you, if you love cars, then at the Racine County Fairgrounds in Union Grove on Saturday, am I the only one who still remembers those old commercials? Sunday, 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 Union Grove, Wisconsin. I can't do the deep voice, but every time I say Union Grove, I automatically think of cars revving their engines. And the Madison Classics annual Gary's Hot Rod Reunion is on Saturday. It includes an auto swap meet, a car corral, and a car show. It's over 90 acres, so you and your favorite car fan can browse classic cars. You can get collectibles and parts if you're restoring a car, but all makes, models, and years of vintage and character and special interest vehicles are welcome. You can browse over 600 vendors, so big fun at Racine County Fairgrounds for Gary's Hot Rod Reunion. If you want more info on that Saturday fun, MadisonClassics.com. And again, wondering what you're doing this weekend, feel free to pop a call or a text on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Helping you make the most of your Summerfest at 7 o'clock, the Summerfest Sound Check hour-long special covering music and food and all the new activities, including the Lasso Lounge. But my personal picks for opening night, I'll share those with you next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Tyson's Home Farm Auto is opening a new store in Ripon, and they're hiring. They'd love to have you on their team. Join them for open interviews on Tuesday, June 24th from 9 to 7 and Wednesday, June 25th, 9 to 5 at the Ripon Public Library, or apply online at theisens.com/careers. Tyson's has over 50 immediate full and part-time positions available for sales associates, cashiers, receiving, and more. Tyson's offers a complete benefit package. Stop by the Ripon Public Library June 24th and 25th, or apply online for an opportunity to join Tyson's team.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
It's not summer in Milwaukee without baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly June 27th and a Pat Murphy bobble on the 28th. Get your tickets at brewers.com.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers, where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Don't miss the largest vacation sale in the nation coming this July. It's Fox World Travel's exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations and Celebrity Cruises. July is the best time of the year for unbeatable deals you won't get anywhere else. Get the hottest cruise deals or plan ahead for 2026 all-inclusive resorts paired with nonstop flights. Let Fox World Travel book your vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive list. Sale starts soon.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And tomorrow is the kickoff 9 days of the 57th annual Summerfest. And I thought I was excited. I'm like kid at Christmas. I'm kind of losing sleep. I'm like, ooh, it's very exciting. So I'll be broadcasting live there tomorrow on site. If you're there, we're right behind the Gruber Law Office's sports zone. So right there on the lakefront path. So come by, say hello, or pop me a note, Sandy at WTMJ.com. I would love to know what bands you are excited about. I'm going to even hold up, you know how you walk in and you get those little pamphlets on the YouTube live stream right now. I'm showing you, I have highlighted in different colors on different days what bands that I'd like to see, so then I can cross-reference and see like who I can really see. Because unfortunately, I'm going to miss some music while I'm on the radio with you tomorrow between 6 and 8. That's okay, because I'll be seeing a whole lot of other music. And I'm going to get there as early as I can, but I would definitely recommend, because, you know, there are so many hundreds of bands. You can't be up to date on all of them, and that's okay. So the summerfest.com website, or you can go to WTMJ.com. We'll have links there. And the Summerfest app is really, really handy, because you can just tap on a band that you even think you're interested in, and it'll put it on a calendar for you. So you can make your own personalized schedule. But I'm telling you, it's going to kick off, rock and rollers, in a big way tomorrow night. Def Leppard, the headliners tomorrow night on the American Family Insurance Amphitheater stage. I saw them a few years ago at AmFam Field, and they are in great shape. They sound great, and they've got such a great set of songs from the 80s. And they're a great rock band to see. And opening for Def Leppard tomorrow night is a band called Tesla. And if you ever listen to music in the 90s and rock, man, they have some great music too. And got a chance to talk to Jeff Keith of Tesla. You heard that a couple days ago. He is just a down-to-earth, grateful to be singing rock and roll guy, and he's still got that signature raspy sound. So headlining tomorrow night on the American Family Insurance Amphitheater stage, Def Leppard and Tesla. I'm telling you, that's going to be a good night of music. But the other thing that's going on tomorrow night is they're kind of extending the Juneteenth holiday. So there'll be the Juneteenth parade on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive during the day. But then, 6 o'clock, that kind of winds down. And there is a fantastic selection of music on a variety of stages at Summerfest. For example, Gary Clark Jr., who's an incredible guitarist, he's going to be on the Miller Lite Oasis stage at 10:15 tomorrow night. And remember, Big Bang fireworks at 9:30, so everything stops for like those 20-25 minutes of the fireworks and then the band. So if you're like, that sounds a little late for a Thursday night, so that way we can have the fireworks. So Gary Clark Jr. at 10:15 tomorrow night, and I am telling you, I think it is just fantastic that another one of the headliners on the free stages tomorrow night is the Isley Brothers. They make you want to shout, but they've also got so many other great songs. So Isley Brothers are headlining on the BMO Pavilion's free stage tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Eric Benet, Milwaukeean, is going to be on that stage earlier at 7:30, and also local Troy Tyler on at 6 o'clock on the BMO Pavilion. So those are just some fun bands to check out tomorrow night. And also, if you're a fan of The Record Company, band that started here and then went to LA, even Grammy nominated. Chris Voss from Burlington is the voice of The Record Company. They are back in town 7:30 tomorrow night on the Uline Warehouse stage. Man, and I remember I got a chance to see the record company several years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago, when they played Summerfest at the Aurora Pavilion, and it was a rainy night, so we all just kind of hunkered in, and man, they rocked that stage. So they're going to sound great. And listen to sound of the record company here. They're going to be on the Uline Warehouse stage at 7:30 tomorrow night, and then the Almond Betts Band at 10 o'clock. So I'm telling you, it's a great stacked lineup tomorrow night of all kinds of great music. Summerfest.com or the Summerfest app can tell you more. And I'm going to tell you that another person I think you should see tomorrow night, she is on stage at 10 o'clock on the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard. She has the song you need to hear next. And the song you need to hear is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Visit them at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play. That sing-along song is next on What's on Tap.
When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value ad work so you can focus on what truly matters. Growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Hey, John Mercure here. Colders is kicking off summer with a 3-day flash sale. That means 3 days of huge savings on furniture, appliances, and mattresses. You don't want to miss out on this exclusive limited-time sale at Colders. From June 17th to June 19th, stack your discounts store-wide. Save 60% on furniture and mattresses, plus take an extra 10% off. That's 60 off plus 10 off on sofas, sectionals, dining sets, outdoor furniture, mattresses, and more. Don't forget about appliances. Save an extra 5% on appliances. Colders guarantees the best price in kitchen and laundry appliances from all your favorite brands like KitchenAid, Samsung, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and more. I know I've shopped at Colders just recently. Don't miss out on Colders' 3-day flash sale only from June 17th to the 19th. Stop by one of their showrooms in West Dallas, Oak Creek, Delafield, or Grafton. They've got the best showrooms and the best sales staff. Or shop online at Colders.com.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Colders.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
Summerfest kicks off tomorrow. So many bands. Summerfest.com or the Summerfest app to help you decide. But I'm also here to help you. And tomorrow night, opening night, I think one of the bands you need to see is a woman named Natasha Bedingfield. You might not know her name, but you know her song, Unwritten, from The Hills. It was the theme song for that reality show, and then it got popular on TikTok again, and she's a sparkling performer. The song you need to hear tonight, sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Visit them at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play. It's Natasha Bedingfield, and she'll perform this tomorrow at Summerfest. on the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard. She'll be on at 10 o'clock, and this will be on the set list. Unwritten on WTMJ.
Can't read my mind. I'm undefined. I'm just beginning. The pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Yeah. I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the line. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. No. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words.
You can be singing along with Natasha Bedingfield tomorrow night at Summerfest. She'll be on the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard stage singing that song and a lot of others. 10 o'clock tomorrow night at Summerfest. Thank you so much for joining me. It's the song you need to hear. Have a great rest of your weekend, and thanks. Well, I'll meet you here tomorrow night live at Summerfest. Thanks for listening to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able